So when did fragrances become X-rated? Now going back to 2017, Tom Ford launched this fragrance. I'm not going to say its name right now, and going forward, when I do say its name, and as I will be saying it quite frequently, I'm going to bleep it out. But he launched a fragrance in 2017. It comes in a black bottle. In fact, I'll show it to you what it is. This one right here. And ever since then, he's launched 3 additional fragrances, one every year almost, with very suggestive or naughty names to the fragrances. So this is the video for you guys if you're curious to learn about these 4 naughty fragrances that are very X-rated in their names. It might not mean anything, but if you look up the names, one of them is very, very naughty. In fact, I can't believe they called it that. So 4 fragrances, X-rated naughty fragrances from Tom Ford, coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Today I'm talking about Tom Ford's naughty X-rated fragrances. That includes F***ing Fabulous, which is this one. I should show you. That's right there. Right there. Sometimes when you go to a store, they've crossed it out in red letter. But when this first came out, they used to hide the name. Now they have the special hidden crossed out red letter that crosses out the F word, obviously. Then he launched a fragrance called Lost Cherry, this one right here. So what does that one mean? Later he launched this fragrance Rose Prick. What does that one mean? And then Bitter Peach, the latest one that came out a few months ago. So I'm not going to go into the details of what the names mean. You just look up the names online. In this video, I'm just going to tell you about the fragrances themselves. I don't want to make this an X-rated topic, but obviously I'm going to talk about the fragrances and tell you a little bit about each of the names. So I'll tell you all about these fragrances, but before I get to them, if this is your first time tuning into my channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So the first fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is F***ing Fabulous, and I love saying F***ing Fabulous, F***ing Fabulous, F***ing Fabulous, F***ing Fabulous. It sounds great together, but it's going to be bleeped out, obviously, and you heard the bleeps. So 2017 is when this one came out, and everybody was excited about this one, and I started seeing some reviews of it online. And in fact, I was traveling when it came out, so I got to review it pretty late. And it was a limited edition, and I think people were excited about it, but you know, it was a little underwhelming is what happened. So 27 is when this came out. It's considered a leather, but I would go to the extent of calling it an aromatic leather because it's got lots of aromatic touches, especially a kind of a greenish clary sage note in here. But there's lots of leather, there's bitter almonds, tonka beans, clary sage, as I said, Cashmeran, Orris, there's woody notes, amber, and vanilla. So is it f***ing fabulous? I mean, I don't know. For me, it's not, but you might think so, depending on what kind of fragrances you like. But this particular fragrance comes in multiple sizes. And also, I noticed on the Tom Ford website, there are also gift sets with this fragrance. So this seems to be very popular. So obviously, it came out as a limited edition, and then they made it as a, you know, a staple, like a regular lineup of fragrances. And the fact that I could see that there's multiple gift sets and different sizes and candles and things like that. So this must be very, very popular. Is it because of the name? Or is it because it smells great? So it's 30 ml, $205, 50 ml, $350, 100 ml, $475, 250 ml is $895. So for a 250 ml bottle of f***ing Fabulous, you're going to pay almost $1,000 with you know, taxes. So that's a lot of money. How much is the juice price? And one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, all 4 of these fragrances are part of the private blend collection, and they're also from the more expensive private blend collection of fragrances. I personally don't think these warrant the more expensive private blend collections of fragrances, you know. They don't. I think they should have just left it in their original collections, still giving us the more unique bottles, obviously frosted glass, and in this one it's the pinkish frosted glass. I think they should have, or maybe not jacked it up so high, because the prices are I think the original lineup in this bottle is $695, so it's $200 more to get this particular collection. It doesn't only include the X-rated fragrances, there are other fragrances that are part of this lineup. Lavender Extreme is one, but I have a whole other topic I want to talk to you about, which includes discontinuations, lots of discontinuations, but that's another topic. But this is ultra pricey for what you get, but it seems to be doing well because it hasn't had any of its sizes discontinued, and it comes in multiple sizes. A 30 ml is $205, as I said, so it's a tiny little bottle for that price. 4 times more, almost a little over 4 times more, you get 250 ml juice that's not sprayable, but you're supposed to get the atomizer with it so that you can add it into the atomizer and spray with it. So it depends on how much money you have and all that good stuff. It's very, very expensive, and I personally think it should have not been jacked up in price that much. Maybe $100 more, I don't know. But if they're going to jack up the price this much, they should have given us Extrait de Parfum and not an Eau de Parfum, because these 4 fragrances, or the entire collection of a more expensive Tom Ford Private Blend collection fragrances, are all Eau de Parfum. They're not Extrait de Parfum. So that's another setback or a negative about this particular collection and the fragrance itself. I personally don't think this fragrance is fabulous. It's not a bad fragrance. I think it smells great. I love the combination. No, I should take that back. I don't know if it smells great. It smells good to great, I guess. It's a toss-up for me. I guess I like the combination of the leather with the Tonka almonds thing, and then that green aromatic Clary sage thrown in. But I've smelled fragrances that are much better. In fact, I don't know. I think I prefer ombre leather a little more, but I think I did a leather fragrances video, and I think Dahlia preferred this one. I can't remember right now. I mean, it's good. It's good. It smells very, very almondy, and it doesn't deserve the name fabulous. So this is the very first fragrance that came out with a naughty name, and as I said, there was a big uproar about this one. When it was limited edition, I was going to stores within within this country. Obviously, I was doing some traveling, and there was a major uproar about it, and they would hide the name. They would put the bottles in the back, like it's like some porn stash of porn or something that you have to ask the sales associate to get. So there was all kinds of stuff like that. Now they have the name crossed out, or obviously the not crossed out. So it's a nice way to market something and get something out that people are going to talk about, and everybody wants to smell it. And that's exactly what happened with this one, and I can see why that's successful because of that particular scenario. Marketing research and all that kind of stuff probably would have told them, oh, it's a good scent, it's not like fabulous or anything, and they apparently were looking for a name and they can figure it out, and why don't we call it fucking fabulous, you know? I think that's what happened with this one. I don't know, it must be working for them, but let me know from you guys, let me hear from you guys in the comment. Do you think this is fucking fabulous? Or do you think it's fabulous? Or do you think it's a dud? Or do you think it's just good? I want to find out. Put it down so I can find out. Also, let me know pricing. What do you think about the pricing of these fragrances in this collection, the naughty X-rated fragrances from Tom Ford? This is the only one that has the multiple options. It's kind of a toss-up. And the one that has the least options is this one, Bitter Peach, with just one size, 50 ml. So 50 ml in all of these 4 fragrances is $350. So quite pricey for a fragrance. Anyway, that's fucking fabulous. Okay, moving on to 2018 is when Tom Ford launched Lost Cherry. I know that they had announced a decanter bottle of Lost Cherry. It was never actually released, so I don't know what happened, but probably their testing or marketing or focus groups probably indicated that this is not going to be a big seller, so we're not going to launch the big decanter bottle. So that's what happened with it. But this particular fragrance, I think, only launched as a 50 ml, and then that's the size I was able to get early on. I now have 100 ml, but at that time it was the only size available. And I think what they do is they'll launch a size like that, and then they'll do some test marketing with sales, and if it does pretty good with sales, and they'll add sizes. Currently what we have in this one is a 10 ml atomizer for $75, 30 ml $205, 50 ml $350, 100 ml $475. So the name Lost Cherry, I think it basically is referring to losing your virginity, I think. Is that correct with you guys? So you were fabulously and you lost your virginity by losing your cherry, and what comes after that? We'll get to it in a little bit. But what this one's all about is lots of cherry. It's a cherry liqueur, or cherries with liqueur. It's cherries, almonds, or bitter almonds. And I feel like they've pretty much carried over the almonds from here to here. And then you've got Tonka beans. Tonka beans is also running in throughout these two fragrances, the f***ing Fabulous and, of course, Lost Cherry. I feel like they're part of the same sexual experience. I don't know if that's correct or not, but bitter almonds, liqueur, Tonka beans, Peru, Balsam, vanilla, Benzoin, cinnamon, Sandalwood, Plum. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's boozy, it's lots of cherries, it's almondy. You definitely pick up the almondy touches, and it's almost, this particular fragrance for me, it doesn't smell like it's blended. To me, the cherries and almonds don't smell blended. It's almost like I can pick them out separately when I'm smelling them. Like I can separate the notes as I'm smelling them. That's something unique about this particular fragrance, that the notes don't smell very blended, like they're separate. So weird. But I do like this one. I actually like this one a little more than f***ing Fabulous. I just love the sweet kind of gourmand type notes, and I think they're just very, very cozy and fun. This one might appeal young. It smells a little young to me. That's the only negative about it. Like cherries as a smell in fragrances just has something young appeal to it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's young. But I guess I'm just gonna go back to the name again, losing your virginity, the Lost Cherry thing. Maybe they were going for that because it's a young girl, perhaps. I don't know. But to me, it has a very young vibe to it. But I do enjoy it. I really do. And I like the combination of the cherries and Tonka and almonds together. It's really fun. The liqueur as well. So that's Lost Cherry. Something that really doesn't scream sexual or X-rated or naughty, but really it does to me. That's what I'm getting from this Lost Cherry. Is that what they're doing? It's just kind of a very kind of naughty, suggestive name for this one. So that's Lost Cherry. Let me know what you think about this particular fragrance. Let me know what you think about the sizes, and why do you think they didn't release the large decanter bottle of this one? And obviously they launched it as a 50 ml, then they gave it, different sizes as well. I was not aware they had 30 ml bottles, lucky to see. But as I go back to this Bitter Peach once again, this one only has 50 ml, as I said, and I think it's currently being tested to see if there are sales, and of course if they're going to release other sizes. Anyway, Lost Cherry, Tom Ford Private Blend Collection. So we went from a female anatomy reference in Lost Cherry, now we're going to a male anatomy reference in Rose Prick. So Rose Prick came out in 2020, and what does this exactly mean? I don't really know what this one means personally. I'm kind of getting it. You were pricked. Roses have these pricks, and you get pricked with it. It's referring to male anatomy, obviously. That's what I'm getting from it. But this is a 2020 launch. It came out very, very early this year, and I think they might have skipped 2019, which is what they were doing. They did 2017, towards the end of 2017 for the first one, towards the end of 2018 for the second one, and this one was delayed until the early part of 2020, so there was no naughty X-rated fragrance launch in 2019, at least not to my knowledge. But this is a Chypre fragrance. Chypre fragrances are great. Patchouli, roses come to mind whenever oak moss as well, whenever I think of Chypres. This comes in a 50 ml bottle for $3.50, 250 ml bottle for $8.95. So they did launch the decanter, but where's the 100 ml bottle? Currently I don't see 100 listed on Tom Ford's website. I do like this one. It reminds me of some other classic rosy fragrances, and this one has notes of May rose, Turkish rose, Bulgarian rose, patchouli, tonka, Sichuan pepper, turmeric, and I feel like lots of Chypre fragrances or Chypre style fragrances were launched recently. Chypre from Eau Capitale is what it's called, from Diptyque. It's sort of similar to this, not quite, but what I get with this one is lots of green, twiggy, stemmy roses, and Chypre fragrances are very green, and I get that quite a bit in here. But turmeric, I don't get much turmeric with this one. Sichuan pepper maybe a little bit. Sichuan pepper is typically a lemony, peppery, kind of a spicy note. So I do pick that up a little bit. There's some spicy touches. And you know, I do like this one. I enjoy it. I don't think it's groundbreaking. I don't think it belongs in this collection. Personally, it doesn't. None of these do. None of these are worth the price, even though I have them, obviously. I don't know what you guys think about this. Do you think they're worth the price? But let me know what you think. Rose Prick, do you like it? Do you hate it? Have you tried it? Have you been curious about it? Now that you've heard the notes about them, is this something that you want to test out? I enjoy it, as I said. It's just not groundbreaking, but I enjoy the whole green rose or twiggy stemmy rose with the patchouli and the Chypre-like qualities of this fragrance. And the name is kind of catchy, but seems like they're stretching it a little bit, like they're running out of ideas kind of thing, you know? That's my thoughts on Rose Prick, but do let me know what your thoughts are, and why do you think they don't have the other sizes? It only comes in a 50 ml and a 250 ml, as I said. And so I'm wondering what's going on, what their marketing is saying, or their research is saying about these fragrances that they have all these weird different sizes. So that's Rose Prick. Last but not least, it's the latest fragrance that came out a few months ago called Bitter Peach, this one right here. So I did a review of this recently, and in that review I mentioned that it reminds me of this fragrance a little bit, and it's Dry Down Angel from Mugler. But it's definitely a peachy version of it. So in this particular fragrance only has one size, as I said, 50 ml, $350. It might be that this might not get the additional sizes. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really know how their marketing and research works, but during the fact that now we're having the pandemic and the economy is not the best, I doubt they'll release the bigger sizes, but I don't really know. But this is $350 for a 50 ml, a 2020 launch. It's an Oriental fragrance, lots of Oriental type notes. It's boozy for sure. It's patchouli-esque, it's ambery, but we've got here peaches, patchouli, blood orange, sandalwood, vanilla, tonka, cashmeran, rum, cognac, davana, cardamom. You know, it's actually great fragrance. All these are not bad fragrances. That's probably why they sell a lot of them, but it's been done before. And I'm not the biggest fan of peach to begin with. I do like it here. I like its booziness. And I like the whole angel reference thing. You know, kind of like referencing this one. You know, it's not identical. Once again, it's definitely not. But I think what they've accomplished is with all the notes that they've combined together, they've, you know, accomplished a kind of like an angel-like smell. But personally to me, this is the naughtiest of them all. Ultra naughty. And I'm not going to tell you whatsoever what Bitter Peach refers to. If you're curious, you look it up yourself. But I don't know. What do you think Tom Ford's going to do after this? I think they've run out of ideas, and I think fragrances are getting released and discontinued much faster nowadays. It's almost like a factory, constantly coming out. If it's not good, discontinue it. Coming out. If it's good, make a lot of different versions of it. You know, that's what's going on. And the world is running out of ideas, and now we've got these naughty X-rated names and references and things like that. What's next? Are we going to go back to the days of, like, you know, pure and innocent? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm curious as to what Tom Ford's going to do after Bitter Peach. I don't know what ideas are going to come up. Again, I don't hate these fragrances. I do enjoy them. If I had to rank this list, here's what I would do. Lost Cherry, Rose Prick, Bitter Peach, Fabulous. That's the order I would rank them in, with Lost Cherry being one. And it's a toss-up between I think it's a toss-up between Lost Cherry and Rose Prick. It really is. They're kind of equally great to me and equally bad to me. Does that make sense? And then, of course, I think Bitter Peach and Fabulous are tied together. It's just a toss-up, you know. It's my preference currently, and it might stick to this preference, this order, but that's what I'm feeling currently. Fucking fabulous. I've smelled much better leather fragrances. For me, that's an aromatic leather fragrance. I've you know, I have quite a bit of it, and I'm assuming a lot of people would think I would pick Fucking Fabulous as my #1 choice, but you know, I don't think it's my favorite leather, but it's a damn pretty good leather. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Tom Ford's naughty X-rated fragrances. What are your thoughts on Tom Ford's naughty X-rated fragrances? If you've tried all 4, let me know how you would rank them. If you know their real names or what their names mean, also let me know that you do know. And what do you think is the naughtiest of them all out of the 4 fragrances here? Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Otherwise, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.